Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boys. It sound right, boy.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Shout out to everybody here now and everybody that will be swinging by later. Appreciate everybody coming in. You all could be 10,000 different places. You could be throwing it on your girl or throwing it on your baby mama or your wife or just outright cutting the grass. Like a friend of mine said that he cut the grass the other day and was listening, so it was pretty cool. He's got one of those little riding mowers and he was having a good time. But it is a stunning, beautiful day here in the Bluegrass State where I'm at. Happy belated birthday to my brother J-Dub City, who got on that Woodford Reserve and he's still in bed. Shout out to J-Dub City, man. Definitely a friend of the space and somebody that I'm proud to say is a friend of mine and can call me anytime with anything. And I do have a business proposal for him and Lincoln Clay, and I'm gonna see what they think about it behind the scenes. We gotta do some more leg work, but want to get. I respect those brothers, especially their business acclimates, and definitely want to bring them in on the possibility of something. Want to be talking to them. Speaking of Lincoln Clay. Lincoln Clay is due to get his VR today at some point. So happy VR day to everybody. As you can see, we are doing a PSVR 2 Dono War. to go ahead and get the PSVR. We're at $200. So, and if you feel like donating, that's perfectly fine. If not, we got all year to get it. The goal is to try to have it by August, so which is my birthday, and we will be doing an unboxing in August, all things considered, if everything works out. But me and Lincoln Clay today, I believe at some point today, and it's going to be short notice, Lincoln's going to get his PSVR in, and PSVR 2, I should say, and then we're going to do a podcast, a live from Wakanda, kind of a season 2 podcast, and so hopefully you all swing by and look at it, and Lincoln, because he's got all the VR stuff, so you'll be able to see the differences in PSVR 1 and 2, the sizes differences in multiple VRs, you know, the differences in the way that they're going to fit. I got so many double entendres running through my mind right now, but yeah, so tune into that. That will be later on, though. It's just going to be a short notice. It's going to pop up all of a sudden. It'll just pop, and it'll be there. But shout out to everybody. And I've seen different people doing the unboxings. See different people with it already set up. It sits very nicely for people. And what else did I almost get? This morning I'm at Walmart, right? Because I've accepted the new position at the neuroscience clinic. But you know, you gotta go, I gotta get my own scrubs. So I'm at Walmart, you know, trying on different scrubs. I take a walk over to electronics because I'm a bad boy. And they've got the new PlayStation, what is their new gamepad? That new one is $200. And they've got that, they had that like in stock. They also had PS4s, the 1 terabyte, the one they kind of scaled down. They had PS4s in stock. They did not have any Xboxes or any Xbox Ones or PS5s in stock. So, because I was up there looking. So, but they had a lot of cool stuff. But I just, you know, I was able to bypass the aisle. I didn't even look at the TVs because I have what I'm calling the last TV I'm going to probably buy. And I know I said that about my Sony TV, but you all were right that the OLEDs were, that's just a better TV. It's hard to understand. And people that have these OLEDs, if you have an OLED, if you don't mind, and this is a favor I'm asking you, if you don't mind, in the comment section, leave your settings on what you have. I'll leave mine as well. I mean, I'm not going to ask you to do something I wouldn't do. So I'm going to leave mine as well, because I may be adjusting my settings or may have it at a certain point. I had to go in when I looked at the Cyberpunk video. Shout out to Gaming Tech. I had to go in and readjust some stuff, and wow. I mean, so I can say that game looks fantastic, you know. So you're going to argue whether the game is good or bad. The game does look fantastic. So, but we got some topics today. We got a lot of topics today, but we have a PlayStation State of Play. And what they're going to show versus what they ain't going to show. We also have, you know, a little bit more happened yesterday with the ABK deal. Really nothing happened. It's just that Microsoft went out and went third party based on what they did. Now, nothing is final. For all the people who say, well, it's final. No. What they did yesterday was a public briefing. It was a public briefing. What's going on, Swag Lord? Shout out to Swag Lord. I do believe he was up early playing Mass Effect, and that needs to be applauded. He wasn't playing 1 or 2. He was playing Mass Effect 3. We'll forgive him. He wasn't doing the whole playthrough, but that's fine. But like I said, I was up this morning looking at stuff at Walmart, and nothing jumped out. You know that feeling there. They got the headsets up there that I got for, you know, me. I got my 3D Pulse headsets, the black ones. You know me, you know the frugal man that I am, the frugal electronic tech guy, your friendly neighborhood frugal tech guy. I got my headset for, you know, a whopping $49.99, whereas that they had them up there for $99.99. So got a good deal for myself. So we won that round. But that new PlayStation gamepad, that thing looked nice. Now they wouldn't take it out so I could kind of feel what it was like. And just for me, I wouldn't pay more than $99 for it because I'm not gonna adjust anything on it. Like, I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it's fine. So yeah, make sure I am. Yeah, let's go ahead and anybody playing Mass Effect becomes an automatic mod. So that everybody wants to know, well, how do I become a mod? Well, you got to play some Mass Effect. So, and we're gonna make him a managing mod. So Swag Lord is the first managing mod. We'll also give that honor to Lincoln Clay as well. It's not allowing me to put him there. Oh, there we go. No, he's a standard mod. Let me see if I can make Lincoln Clay a man. There we go. So now Lincoln Clay and I Am Swag are managing mods. So managing mods. And how do you become one overnight? You just gotta play some Mass Effect. That's all you gotta do. Go ahead, set your character up. Go ahead, stop Saren. You know, you got to give me that. You ain't got to stop the whole Reaper threat, but give me Saren. Shout out to shout out to you for the $2. Says what's good there. I'm going to try to pronounce that. Is it Sompliza? Please. So if you can break that down for me, I appreciate it. I don't want to butcher your name. Shout out to you for the $2.
What's
and that.
good?
He says what's good, and what is good is that super chat money will go to the PSVR. That's what we're doing here. That's the PSVR 2 Dono War. You can see we already had 200. So the goal is by August. We're gonna crowdfund it and see what we can do. And we got months. I'm not worried about it. So who knows? I may get a wild hair. If I got some tax money left over, I may get a wild hair. You know me. So so yeah, you just go ahead and play Mass Effect and drop. No, it's Mass Effect. You can't bribe yourself to be a mod. So we're gonna make if Corey Massey is in the house, I'll make him a mod too because I gotta have smart people being my moderators. You can't be and recognize when you're a mod, you can't be out there saying stuff that is just moist. Like you can't do it. I will unmod you. So I don't care who you listen to. Just don't say anything stupid. So, but shout out for the super chat, and that will go to that. So, but yeah, like I said, that was a breakdown of my morning, and and like I said, it is supposed to be 74 degrees today. Unheard of. It's supposed to be the warmest day. We're supposed to break a record today. So, what am I doing after the podcast? Am I going to game? Nope, I'm going walking. I got to put some money in the bank. So. He said he's going to protect the channel's honor. Yeah, you're a moderator, so you got to protect the channel's honor. So and trust me, I do not think I don't know who you guys listen to. So that's how I can put it like that. So I know there's some moist ass stuff going on out there. So, but it's cool. It's cool right now. It's cool. So yeah, but make sure you sub to Lincoln Clay VR, the VR king himself, and he is going to be unboxing, and we're going to break it down for you because we got
PSVR 2 fund.
Oh, appreciate it, Lincoln, with the $20 for the VR fund. I appreciate it. Got the little crazy man up there walking, and I appreciate it. So there we go. You can see that's getting better. It's getting bricker, and so who knows? We may get it halfway done, and that's going to be scary, especially if I get on the track and be running people off the road. Lincoln was saying that, I think he said yesterday that some of the Gran Turismo drivers he thinks are some of the that second dirtiest drivers. Well, as soon as I get on the track with VR, it will be so dirty. It's going to be that song by Chameleonaire. They see me rolling, they hate. That's just what it's going to be. Oh, God, here he comes, you know. So, yeah, but it is PSVR 2 days. Sunny in VR. What is happening? Big day for all the VR guys. My personal belief on VR is that it is, and Lincoln will back this up for me, you basically got the Oculus VR in a sense that the way it's going to feel on your head and the way it's going to move with the thumb holders, because you got the exact same thumb holders. I mean, they tried to make it different by saying you can put your wrist in. It is the same way. You don't have to do that. So, but I'm seeing people online. He said I'm sub to. They're putting VR, the Gran Turismo, the racing up there, and they said it's incredible. I mean, this is not from a website. This is from Joe Q Public, who I trust the consumer more than I trust these websites. But even White Zaddy himself came on talking about PSVR 2 being a game changer, and understand what it is and what it's not. It is a peripheral that adds another sense of immersion for players. Now, I've already played Resident Evil 7 and 8. I don't think I would go back and play Resident Evil 8 again, especially if the DLC isn't supported. And right now, we don't know if the DLC is supported. So, but that's just me personally. Don't let that stop you, because again, if you all watch it, I will promote it. If you have a VR, you're going to be playing VR games. I've got no issue with promoting your channels. You just have to let me know that it's okay, because I don't want to do something that you don't want me to do. So just get in contact with me on Twitter or through Discord, but primarily through Twitter, at Craig Harris 456. Just say, hey, look, I do VR. Here's a link. I'll promote the link. I'll put it out there for you. It's no problem. There ain't no money involved. It's all about the gaming and raising awareness for people, because they may not want to do the VR right now. It does cost $500,000, and but I understand it's a level of immersion, and for me, Sony's got to get some type of, whether it's Elite Dangerous, something with Star Citizen, DCS, X-Plane 12 or 11 or 12 is coming out. They got to do something to bring that group of people in, because once you get that group of people to come in, you're looking at a huge group, and maybe Sony's going to do it. So, but happy VR Day. Everybody's getting them in. They've got their tracking numbers up there saying it's been shipped out. I got something delivered on Amazon yesterday. It was a movie called The Delta Force. It was Lee Marvin's last movie. Lee Marvin, Steve James, Chuck Norris. It had a very young, I thought it was Julia Roberts, but it was a very young Kim Delaney in it. So, but shout out to everybody that's here now. Shout out to your Ice Queen. Hope you're feeling better. Dead Space VR, that is up to EA. You got to understand that Sony can only do VR for Sony games, and they have to strike deals with third-party developers. Like they have a deal with Capcom. I personally think you're going to see some VR stuff with Kojima's Death Stranding 2 game. Whether it'll be all playable in VR or partially playable in VR, we'll have to wait and see. EA owns the Star Wars license. So I do know I think they have Vader Immortal. I think not Vader Immortal, but whatever the Star Wars Darth Vader lightsaber game, I think that is going to come to PlayStation if it's not already announced. But they have 30 to 35 games they're launching with, and so that's plenty. A little bit for everybody. They even got that kayak game. So, but as of right now, and I agree 100% with what Porter Rock was saying, I'm waiting till it comes out into the stores. I don't want to order it through direct. But today, when we're talking with Lincoln Clay today, he's gonna be 100% straight up honest with it. And if he says it ain't that big a deal, or it's corny, or you may want to hold off, you may want to hold off. But because he is he's the VR king. So looking forward to his review. Kind of self-promotion there. Looking forward to Sonny in VR, what he says on Twitter. If you're not, and it's for the people interested in VR. These are guys that are playing VR. Okay, so they've been playing a while. So certainly hope it goes well. So but moving on to the first story, the PlayStation Plus games that came out yesterday on the 21st. And I was wrong about this because I thought that these games were only for Plus. But it turns out they weren't. They were for Essential. And so I got to correct the record there. Where is it at on my listing here? Hold on. Let me take that down. Here's that. Let me get rid of that. Where's my trash can? Let me drop that one. Now let's see if it comes up here. Still not coming up. That is odd. So, there. Let me close that window. Let me close that window. See what pops up. Should be nothing. And let me delete that. Now let me open up a new window. And go to PlayStation News. Where was it at? News. Let me just do this. PlayStation February 23. See if we can create this. Okay. So that now I'm trying it again. Let's see if my computer wants to act right this morning. Ah, there it is. All right, there we go. Apologies. So here we go. So the PlayStation Plus game catalog lineup for February. This will cover PS4 and PS5. So you've got the big one, which is Resident Evil 7 Biohazard and Horizon Forbidden West. They also have the Rock Quarry. And so here you go. You got the Quarry, which I wonder what this game's about. I may end up playing this. So let's see here. It says a thrilling teen horror story. Oh, here we go. A bunch of zillennials where your decisions shape how the night unfolds. As the sun sets on the last day of summer camp, the counselors of Hackett's Quarry throw a party to celebrate. Well, that sounds okay. Things quickly take a turn for the worse. Hunted by blood-drenched locals and something far more sinister. What the hell? The teens' party plans unravel into an unpredictable night of horror. Well, that sounds pretty predictable to me. That play as each of the 9 counselors in a thrilling cinematic tale where every decision shapes your story. All right, well, that's fine. So that's for PS4 and PS5. Forbidden West is PS4 and PS5. 1 year. I think 1 year to the date when it came out. Resident Evil Biohazard. Now, again, if you have VR, this is something you should play in VR. It's a really good Resident Evil game. But again, this is a Capcom game. It's not a Sony game. You do have Outriders. This allows you to, this is from the people that did Bulletstorm. This will allow you to put on a headset and call in the B2 with your friends. So that's a good thing for you all who want to do that. So, but check that out. So it's got rich storytelling. And I like storytelling, so that's good. Scarlet Nexus. Now, I'm actually gonna probably play this game because I've heard really good things about it. But again, these games are all available on PS4 and PS5. And I have to say, as somebody who has Plus and I have Essentials, I'm in the middle tier, this is the best I've ever seen it. So Borderlands 3. So, which again, a friend of mine loves Borderlands. I mean, he's married and has 2 kids. He still plays Borderlands. So shout out to him. But you all can get this and you can play Tekken 7. That is just PS4 only. Ace Combat Skies Unknown. That is PS4 only. Earth Defense 4, PS4. So again, check that out. Here's another one. I didn't realize this. My goodness gracious. This is Ononaka. Well, this is a JRPG from Square Enix. There's Square Enix again. So or Square Enix. Maybe that's a different company. So, but somebody can look that up. There's who makes this game right here. This is like Oninaki. So somebody look that up. It says it's got some deep customization with your weapons and enough content to keep you coming back for more. If you want more, then jump. There you go. So go ahead and check that out, PS4 owners. Lost Sphere. Well, you know, another RPG, you know. Now some type of power is threatening reality. So that's, if you feel like taking that on, there you go. But man, there's just so much. The Forgotten City. This right here, this looks like Rise, Son of Rome. You know, Rise created humanity and formed the earth, the moon, and the stars and the seas. You know, everything started there. You know, they have traced the human genome traces all the way back to Rise, Son of Rome. So there you go. So, but yeah, and then you have the classics. So if you are in the highest tier, then you get the Legend of Dragoon, which a lot of people, I know Jay Barry was loving this. He was talking about this the other day. So shout out to Jay Barry. Anybody who wants to play this game, Wild Arms Part 2, PS1. Wow, Harvest Moon, holy cow. That's that's a throwback. That is a throwback right there. Harvest Moon. Wow. I still remember playing that on my PS1. Like, geez, that was a long time ago. And then Destroy All Humans. And my girl loves Destroy All Humans. She's not a very big video game console player, but Destroy All Humans is something that she really likes. Can't explain it. So there is no Square Enix. Well, I mean, again, it's a misprint then. And if you don't know, the news that broke yesterday was that some game called Octopus Traveling Part 1 is leaving Game Pass. It's leaving Game Pass. So that is one more Square Enix game that's leaving Microsoft. So again, my personal opinion, let me make sure I put my personal opinion out there, is that Sony has bought Square Enix. Now, some other people, shout out to Foxy Games UK, he believes that there's been a capital investment, you know, and that's going to do pretty much the exact same thing. So it will denote ownership, but that's neither here nor there. Also, if you don't know, Ballistic Moon Studio, not Moon Studio, Ballistic Moon Studios was purchased by Sony, allegedly. We saw some paperwork. I'm pretty bullish. I'm over 90% that it is done, but not 100% because Sony hasn't really announced it. So, but what is going on? What is happening? Worldwide Studios is in the house. He is in the house. You know, it's a big deal when he is here. So, Charles Hawk says making deals with something they don't own. Well, it's okay to make a preliminary deal. We'll talk about that. That's fine. But shout out to everybody here. Shout out to Sony with these games. I'm actually going to be downloading some of these games because you all know I keep it on the cheap. And you know, and the Quarry was something I was thinking about buying. I do understand that by far the better version of the Quarry is on Xbox. So they said it's not even close. So, but PlayStation's starting out this year. All right, you've had Forspoken come out. You're getting VR. You can play No Man's Sky VR. You can play Gran Turismo VR. Resident Evil 7 and 8 VR. Just a lot of VR. The kayaking canoe game VR. There are rumors, and yes, you know that we've got a PlayStation show today, State of Play. So let's go ahead and bring up exactly what Sony said they're going to show. Because I do know you have some hobosexuals out there that they're going to put out what they want. Now, I personally think these hobosexuals are trolls that are trying to make something out of nothing. But this is going to come from our friends at PlayStation Lifestyle. And PlayStation Lifestyle, we're going to put this up on the screen so you all can see it. And let's see here. Yep, here we go. So this comes from PlayStation Lifestyle. So shout out to them. But it says here that we do have a state of play. Now, this was a rumor, but I try to stay away from rumors. Try to. Sometimes it can't be helped. And so it says here, it says, how long? How long is this been going on? How long is state of play supposed to be? So it says here, after weeks of rumors, Sony finally announced PlayStation State of Play for February. And it says here it's taking place on the 23rd. That is tomorrow. I thought it was today. It's taking place tomorrow. So you have VR happening today. Why did I think State of Play was today? All right, so you have VR happening today. Today is Happy VR Day. Then tomorrow you have State of Play. And it says here, how long is the event? According to the Japanese PS blog, about 45 minutes. Now, that's roughly what it's going to be. So it may be 41 to 42 minutes. All right. It says what to expect. Now, let me tell you what I expect. I expect exactly what they said, which is a handful of new VR games, a deep dive into Justice League against Suicide Squad, which tells you what? That tells you if they're getting their own deep dive, that tells you that Sony has marketing rights. And now, I was told that some stuff was happening with Sony and Warner Brothers. And this could be just the beginning. Could be some major announcements coming down the pipeline. Major announcements that will shake the industry. Well, like I like to say, they will shake the industry in a world that needs to be shaken. So it says here that it's 15. It says we know that 45 minutes, approximately 15 minutes, are for the Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, and that leaves about 30 minutes for everything else. So what are we going to see in that 30 minutes? So it says here 5 of the showcase games will be PSVR 2 games. Now, this doesn't mean they're going to be major or humongous, like oh my god, like oh my god, maybe it'll be nothing like that. So it says understandable, considering the headset has launched worldwide today. Interestingly, the Japanese PS blog mentions that 16 new games will be showcased. Now, the state of play, because remember, those are uploads. It may be different in Japan than it is in the United States and the West. You must remember that when you watch state of play. All right. Says considering we have confirmation of Suicide Squad and 5, PSVR games, that leaves us with 10 games, but fans might want to keep their expectations in check. So I will go out on a limb and say I do believe we're going to see a Resident Evil 4 VR support announcement. That's what I believe. And I'm fingers crossed that we get the DLC for Resident Evil 8 into the VR as well. Because to me, what's the point if you're going to have the main story? But the DLC was only about 4 hours long, but it was good. There was a lot of information there. I didn't like those mannequins chasing me around. Oh God, that was unnerving. But anything was better than that thing, than that Nemesis thing that said stars. That dude was busting down walls. That dude was busting down the walls to get to me. So wow. So this PlayStation asks fans to expect a hot indie and third-party reveal. So now you can take that the way you want. There's people running around saying they're going to see Kojima, they're going to see Spider-Man, they're going to see, and who knows? I just don't think that's what you're going to see. But more importantly, what do you think you're going to see? I'm hearing they're going to have an announcement for Half-Life Alyx and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't know. I have to wait and see. Half-Life Alyx would be a coup. It would be. That would be a huge effing deal. So, in other words, Joe Biden would say it's a big effing deal. You know what I'm saying? So, but, keep your expectations in check. Don't go Marlin Gaming Nation over here and be saying this, and this. Saying one thing, we're not going to see it, but wanting deep down to want to see it. So, because you have to remember these content creators, they're pushing out what they want to see, necessarily not what you're gonna see. See, hopefully that makes sense. So they're pushing out what they want versus what they're gonna more than likely see. So, so we'll have to wait. It's tomorrow, but today is VR day. It's big time VR day. Everybody's getting their VRs. I'm envious, but shout out to everybody doing it. So, everybody who pulled the trigger. So, we're watching this. Hogwarts is keeping me busy. Supposed to be helping somebody get through Returnal. Yeah, Returnal's on PC. You all want to try that out? Returnal is on PC. So, yeah, please go check that out. And because I've heard good things about it on PC, but they say it's not it apparently isn't doing well on PC as far as views. I don't know how it's selling, but I've heard views it's not capturing the audience. But that was a small game made by a small team, and they've added to Housemarque. So and if you don't know, that is a Housemarque game. That game was made before a purchase, but some people say that the purchase was already done and they put the game out. So I have to wait and see that. If you have any questions, put them in the form of a questions at my name. So, or if you want to, you can put it in a super chat. But if you just want to put it in, don't at my name, that's fine. So, somebody said they just beat Ghost of Tsushima. That was a good game. That Ghost of Tsushima was a good game. One of the better games I played. So, so they're putting the game that they expect to get more game. Yeah, well, let's go ahead and talk about that. If you're not going to talk about the Plus games, and we kind of delved into the VR, the update that happened yesterday with the ABK deal is that Microsoft has got an agreement in principle that with NVIDIA, GeForce, and with Nintendo. And not only that, with Nintendo, they're going to put anywhere from 12 to 18 games, other games, on Nintendo. This includes Halo, Gears of War, Crash Bandicoot, or better known by its other name, Smash Brandy's Cooch. If you play The Last of Us Part 2, if you remember that scene with Dina and Ellie, that's the name of the movie that they found. It was called Smash Brandy's Cooch. And I think it went over a lot of people's heads. But if you want to go back and play it. Speaking of The Last of Us Part 2, if you have Plus, I do believe you can get it for $10 digitally. So, so yeah, so NVIDIA gets every Xbox game. Brad Smith confirmed Nintendo deals for Call of Duty. It's plus more. I mean, I think there's 12 to 18 games going over. I said, including Gears and things like that. So they're trying to strike a similar deal with Sony. Sony has allegedly, again, none of this was done in front of the regulatory bodies. This was just like a press conference, and it was a good presser because they're trying to put pressure on Sony to take the deal. To take the deal. So, yeah, Chris, you already own it physically. I do too, but if you don't, and you want to add to a digital collection, you can go ahead and buy it digitally, I think for under $10. Somebody can double check that, but I think I saw it on sale. It's on sale through like March 12th or something like that for $10 or like $9 and some change. But go check it out. It may not be. You're right. It could be a little bit more. But just go check it out. I can't believe it's supposed to be 73 degrees today and 75 tomorrow. I am off both days. I'm just going to enjoy it. So, but yeah, that's what Dina said. Smash Brandy's Cooch. And I think it went past everybody's head. Like people were so invested in hating the game because of what happened to Joel that they missed when Dina said that. So got the PS4 collector's edition. Oh yeah, see, I forgot which one I've got, but I do have one of those edition games. So they need to yeah, but we'll keep on moving. We'll keep on moving. Disney put way more pressure on Sony for Spider-Man rights than was like. Well, no, Disney didn't put pressure on Sony for that. I mean, I've said that multiple times. They didn't do that. That was a negotiated deal. That's all that was. It was a negotiated deal. And there was no pressure though. So, but yeah, I mean, I chronicled that extremely by a whole lot. So, but yeah. So what you have now happening is Microsoft trying to put public pressure on Sony to get this deal done. It's not working because Sony isn't even talking. So Sony's pretty much like, we said all we're going to say about it. We don't think they should okay the deal. Some people say it looks like a form of desperation. It could be a little bit of that too. And said before that two things can be true at the exact same time. And it is a form. It can be looked at. Yeah, Microsoft looks desperate. Like, why are you all doing this? And on the other hand, Microsoft, it could be like, well, look, we're doing this because of this. You see what I'm saying? And so they do look a little desperate, but I think it's a good move to try to bring in other people to put pressure on Sony. Now, again, what they did yesterday wasn't in front of the regulators. It was just a press conference that they did, and then they did some more media stuff like that. So yeah, Sony is standing their ground. They don't think Chris Kennedy said he's got 490 money. Well, there you go. That's a nice card. It's a big card. It's a big card, but it's a nice card. So that's what happened yesterday. You saw people trying to update it and stuff like that in real time, but ultimately they literally just said, we've signed this deal in principle with them, so now more people can play the game. So to me, it's silly. They would get that library. They would put that library on the Switch is what they would do. And then they would say, well, now more people are playing, and it's like, and then they would put pressure on Nintendo. If you want to play the newest game, you need to, Game Pass. So again, just have to wait and see how it works out. It may work. I think it's a good move by Microsoft, but it also slaps of desperation, which leads you to the main thing I wanted to really talk about, which is with them signing with GeForce and with them signing with Nintendo in principle, it makes Microsoft a third-party developer / publisher. So it is now time for the community to give me my flowers. Now, I must say that both King Thrash and myself, we got flowers yesterday on Twitter. So it's okay. But I am the same man who told you all years ago that Microsoft was going to go third party. And that's what you're seeing them do it right in front of your face. So Holomoka said this PSVR 2 is arriving today. Yeah, everybody's is apparently. Apparently everybody got their updates and people are getting excited and jumping up and down, and they've got a little chub going. So kind of making me jealous, but not jealous, envious, I should say. But let's see here. Let me see if anybody else has theirs up here. Do I think we're going to see Wolverine? The answer is no, but we're also saying, I'm hearing Metal Gear. I'm hearing Metal Gear is going to be shadow dropped. I mean, I'm hearing all kind of things. So I personally don't believe that. But what do you all think? Do you think we get a Metal Gear? So have to wait and see. So, and yeah, what else we didn't? Yeah, somebody just got theirs. I'm seeing it now. Somebody said they want Returnal VR. And how about Sony having 80% of the market in Europe? Yeah. So, what do you all think about that? So good times, good times. So, Disney made the whole situation public with Sony. Well, no, actually, it was Sony that walked away from the deal the second time, not Disney. Disney cut a hard bargain and Sony walked away and they negotiated it out. I mean, I was trying to explain to people at the time that the Sony Disney deal was that's what it looks like when $2 billion companies are negotiating. I was just like, it's going to work itself out. That's what it looks like. So, but yeah, it was Sony that marked that. Then again, and people didn't expect that. Everybody thought it would be Disney that did something that walked away. It was actually Sony. Sony said, "Yeah, y'all can kick some rocks. Get the likes up, people." So, yeah, cheeks are going to get shadow clapped. So, waiting for Sony to announce Silent Hill VR. What if we get a Silent Hill update today? You could, in theory. Not today. I keep saying today. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. I'm treating. I'm thinking that the state of play is today. It's not. It's tomorrow. So, Shadow Moses remake is definitely going to be shown this year. Okay. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But it's a long year. I mean, we're just in the second month, right? So, but Xbox has gone third party, and so you can expect them to be putting games everywhere, and that's what they want to do. So, Jay Hollyfield, so he's waiting on the UPS man. I'm telling you, it's the longest wait ever. So, yeah, I'll end up with one by the end of summer. That's my goal. Enjoy the spring, enjoy the summer, then throw on the VR headset and call in the one-man army. But again, today, be on the lookout for me and Lincoln Clay's Wakanda podcast. We're going to do that today. Wakanda Forever podcast, season 2. The Star Wars VR and Horizon is where your time will be spent. I'm hearing Horizon is more of a showpiece than anything else. But yeah, I would like to see somebody stream it stem to stern if possible. So, Mario Heat, anyone who has a brain has been saying all along Microsoft is going to be a publisher, not a console maker. Yeah, but I said it. I had the balls to say it publicly the first time. You're not wrong, however, but yeah, nobody was talking about it publicly. King Thrash and myself actually talked about it. And it's all good. So I'm loving it though. I love it. Sony standing their ground. So let's see here. Yeah, everybody says out for delivery. Ice Queen is in the house. But what do y'all think about Microsoft going third party? See, I'm thinking it's a wonderful thing. I don't have an issue with it because this was the only way forward for them is to go third party. There is no other way out. They are boxed in. They're not going to get market out of Europe. They can try, but as that guy said, it's like a giant blue Pac-Man, when it was cracked me up. So, said even the hardcore bots like Colt Eastwood and Crap Gamer refer to it as an ecosystem now. Yeah, that's what it is. It is an ecosystem, which is fine. I want to make sure I say this. I got no issue with what Microsoft is doing. I think the people who are mad at Microsoft are the fanboys who don't even game. Like they don't even game. They are just there running their effing mouths. So, but yes, it's an ecosystem, and part of that ecosystem, I'm telling you right now, it's coming to Sony. Right? It is coming to Sony, whether it's through Game Pass or a Game Pass hybrid. So I think it's fantastic. So I for one back at 100%. Let's see here. Anybody else in here? Because we're coming up on an hour. So, but yeah, I think this is a great day. I think it's a great day for gamers. Shout out to Sick Humor. Like he said, this is a great day for gaming. You know, you all are going to be experiencing something that says what now? Can I agree that Microsoft has waved the white flag on Xbox? Yes. Yeah. Yeah. But I've said that. When Microsoft came out and said, you know, what if you want to play XYZ game on X console? And I'm like, well, wait a minute. What if I want to play Gears of War on a PlayStation? You know, they were like, Xbox is Microsoft is going to be dedicated to making sure you get it. Yeah, that's the way this works. The subscription services work based on potential new customers, and as we all know, Microsoft's Xbox has peaked. That's according to Benji sales. They have peaked, so they're not bringing in new customers. What they have are a bunch of customers who haven't had Game Pass in a while, reactivating Game Pass. But so yeah, they threw the white flag up, like the Dido song, "White Flag," or who sang that, Natty and Bruglia, or you know, hold on, Alexa, who sang the song "White Flag"? All right, thank you. All right, Dido. So yeah, I can't tell Dido from Natalie and Bruglia to Nelly Furtado. To me, they all sound the same. They have the same productive value voice. Although Nelly Furtado, at least Michelle Branch stood out. Nelly Furtado sounded like she had a head cold when she sang, but that was her voice. Her voice. So if Gears of War comes to PlayStation, the Colt Eastwood is going to have Tears of War. Yeah, it's coming. It's all coming. You know, Gears, Forza, Halo, it will be on the PlayStation. This you have to wait. It's got to work it out. The 80% of players in the EU can't play Starfield or Redfall. Well, they can. They just have to buy an Xbox. That's like if Xbox can't fix my Game Pass on PC, and I want to play Starfield, and I want to play Stalker 2, and I want to play Perfect Dark and Fable, I'll be getting an Xbox. It's not the end of. I promise you, my world won't implode if I buy one. But I'm going to not buy one before I get the PSVR. I mean, it's not that super important. So that I buy one. It'll just be I'll get one when I can get one. So it is what it is. So yeah. Well, starting to get around. So starting to get around. I'm getting that new job. So so Microsoft going to have to give Sony lifetime access to their games. Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Yeah, that's called negotiation. That is part of the negotiations. It's happening. So not that Sony doesn't want those games. It's that how do those games get delivered? I mean, that's just the way Sony is. They said before somebody was bringing up the Sony Disney deal. At first, that was a flat no. Amy Pascal said no. Like she wouldn't even talk to Kevin Feige. But eventually they wore her down. It became about, well, how long is he going to be in it, and who is going to play him, and what will he be doing? It's where they're at now. Where Sony's like, if we're going to lose Call of Duty, you're going to compensate us with something. You're going to compensate us, and that'll be and we're not going to. This is going to be the way Nintendo did it. Microsoft went to Nintendo. Nintendo's not going to put no games on, but that's what Microsoft wants. Remember what Phil Spencer said years ago? He said, I think it'll be fantastic. I'm paraphrasing Phil Spencer. He said, I think it'd be fantastic if Nintendo put a Mario game on Xbox. Those are Phil Spencer's words years ago. So again, this has been their plan the whole time. It's been right in front of your faces. I've been trying to tell you about it. My King Thrash and myself, but you all decided to listen to these fanboys who can't get no pussy turn around and say, it'll never happen, it'll never happen. No, it's going to happen, because if I want to be the Netflix of gaming, which Microsoft wants to be the Netflix of gaming, Netflix is successful because it's on all devices. I can download it on my damn phone, on my beautiful Galaxy phone. Okay, you can download it on your iPads, on your tablets, your phones, your televisions, whatever, the kids stuff. I mean, that's the way Netflix works. It's everywhere. It has the potential to get it has a potential to get 1 billion consumers if they wanted to, or 1 billion users. And that's why Netflix is printing money. So, but you just got to get over this whole thing. Sony and Nintendo are the dominant makers of this. All right, they are the dominant guys in this space. They are the barn buffs. They run the prison block. Microsoft was not ever going to survive. When Sony had a messed up generation, they still outsold the Xbox. Xbox had third-party deals on everything. I believe, because I was in the ecosystem. They had BioWare. They had the Call of Duty stuff, Infinity War. They had all of it. They had it. They still couldn't beat Sony. And that was after Sony came out and broke their ankle at the starting gate. Sony still went out, had surgery, did rehab, and finished ahead of them. So, and now, all things being equal, you're seeing what Jim Ryan is doing, which is he's putting out the PS5 with games. I mean, they had third-party games, they had first-party games. Then the peripheral device comes out. Okay, they're talking about the headsets come out, different colors, different plates, different everything, So then the new handheld stuff comes out. You can see what Sony's doing. They've inundated the marketplace. It's similar to Microsoft with the headsets and the controllers. There's a bunch of look, there are a bunch of controllers out there. The God of War controllers available. The Harry Potter controllers available. I'm telling you right now, you're going to probably get one for the Justice League. Justice League Kills, whatever this thing coming out is. A Suicide Squad versus Justice League, whatever you want to call it. All that, it will come with stuff because Sony, by giving them a deep dive, like they did with Callisto Protocol and they did with Hogwarts, they basically are telling you, we have marketing rights to this game. So I think that's why, and again, people are talking about how good Hogwarts is. Again, I don't know if I'll ever play something called a Hogwarts, but even Digital Foundry said that Hogwarts looking, running better, whatever you want to say, on the PlayStation. So a lot of this is, I can't blame the content creators, because the content creator's job, because as somebody who creates content, is to come out and say some of the stupidest stuff I've ever heard. Like like I said before, generationally, you all should be smarter than I am, but you're not. And you have access to all kinds of information. So Church Key says he's a PSVR 1 owner, PSVR 2 pre-order. Can't wait for Starfield as well. Looks like a good 2023. For gamers, Church Keys. Now, look, I love what he said. He said for gamers. That's why I'm here. That's why Sick Humor, shout out to Mr. No Cap himself, he left PlayStation Nation because he don't want to be associated with a bunch of being able to get pussy ass Negroes that don't know how to game and chase trophies. Okay, he don't want to be associated with it. He left. All right, that was breaking news. I did a podcast on that. Breaking news: Mr. No Cap leaves PlayStation Nation because he don't want to be associated. Yeah, because he just want to play the game. Shout out to, I think no Sick Humor put out a tweet earlier this week saying, you got PSVR coming, you got a State of Play coming, we got all these games dumped on PS Plus. Returnal PC, if you want to play it on PC, and a couple more weeks. The Last of Us, Part 1, based on the hit TV show, wink, wink, nod, nod. It's going to PC as well. So if you are a gamer, you have plenty. Okay, you're stuffed. You're at the bottom of the, the trough. You're full. They piling up the wings and the beer on you. Just kind of like, man, I got all these wings and beer. So you're fine. You got Harry Potter. If you're on the PlayStation, you got the best version of Harry Potter on console. I don't want to hear about the PC version. So, no, it is what it is. The Starfield goes to NVIDIA. How's that help Game Pass? It's about Microsoft going third party. It ain't about Game Pass. It's about them publishing to everybody. I'm shocked that Microsoft hasn't been able to put games, because now they have what on Steam? They don't have it on Steam. They don't have the GeForce thing, and you've got it on Microsoft. You don't think Microsoft doesn't want to try to put their games over on Epic, the Epic Game Store? Because there are people who just use the Epic Game Store. Yeah, I don't know why, but again, Sony is very close to Epic. That's why we saw the Epic demo running on PlayStation. That's why Sony puts their games over on Epic, and they make a big deal about it. If I buy The Last of Us, I'm going to buy it on the Epic Store. I probably won't buy it because I'm playing through right now on my PS5, and it's the same story, but it's just visceral. I knew that Joel's daughter was going to die, right? Everybody knows that. It's still visceral when it happens. I can't explain it. I just can't effing explain it. All right. Maybe it's, I'm going to have a stepdaughter here soon. Maybe you have to be a father to enjoy. That scene is just hard. It was hard to watch on the TV show. You know that it's going to happen. You know it. You know it's going to happen. And still somehow we managed caring. Just phenomenal writing. That's all I can really say about it. What's up, Paul Game? So, no more exclusives. Every Xbox game goes in the video with this deal. Yeah, and more games are going to go to Nintendo. But again, Microsoft will leverage that. Because Nintendo's looking at it like we can do it the easy way or we can do it the hard way. The choice is yours. They're not begging Microsoft for stuff. Microsoft would probably can go to Nintendo and say, we would love if you put a Donkey Kong game over here. We would love if we could play Splatoon with you guys. It could be something like that. Or God forbid, the big one, which is Zelda. How about putting some of the Zelda games, maybe not the new Zelda games, but how about we put some of the older Zelda games over here on the Xbox? That's the way you leverage things. And we in return will put this on Nintendo system. That's the way it'll work. Can you imagine if they put Splatoon and they enable Splatoon to be played by Nintendo gamers and Xbox gamers? Can you imagine that? And don't say it can't. Anybody who tells you it'll never happen, that's the dude that ain't getting no pussy. That's it. That's all I can really say. Because it's not that you can say it can happen, but it would be a hard sell. That is fair. But when you have people saying it flat won't happen, shit. I'm so gay. Yes, it can. Just as when I walked out of that movie theater in 2000 and whatever it was, 12, after I watched the Avengers movie and was talking to a couple friends of mine, and I said, man, wouldn't it be cool if they could get Spider-Man into this stuff? And everybody was like, yeah, that would be cool. Everybody, we talked about it a little bit. And guess what? It's happening. It's happening. Matter of fact, it's happened. We don't have to say it's happening. It's happened. So, they don't know what they're talking about. The 24 FPS on Xbox. I certainly hope that's not wrong. And Paul Game said it's he don't chase trophies. That's fine. Like, to me, the trophy is serendipitous. It just pops up. Oh, okay. It's like if you play Callisto Protocol when you use the 3D printer to print your first weapon, that's what you're supposed to do. Then it gives you a trophy. That's the way I look at trophies. You know, if I play Madden and you set your defensive goals for the week. Like I played, who did I just play? I played the Cleveland Browns and I shut them out. I used the Bengals, and part of your defensive game plan goals for me, I chose shut out opponent. Well, because I shut out an opponent based on my team goals that I set for my team, I ended up getting a trophy for it. It was like game plan executor or something like that. It was something that it's like, okay, I'm trying to win a game. I want to beat the other team by shutting them out. You know, but had I won the game 20, I won the game 24-0. That had we won the game 13-0, I would have been fine with that too. So, but it just says stuff like that. Set goal for 100 rushing yards. You know, you can do it individually or set team goal of 100 yards. You know, one receiver, 10 catches plus. You know, that happens. One receiver, 3 touchdowns plus. I think the most touchdowns I've thrown to one receiver in that game, I threw 4 touchdown passes, 3 to Jamar Chase, 1 to T. Higgins. Yeah, 1 to T. Higgins. So again, but Chase wanted 4 touchdowns. He only had 3, so I don't meet my goal. That's the way this looks. So that's the way this works. So you all need to, I know you don't actually know what you need to do. You can try to start looking at life a little bit differently. So Xbox needs banger exclusive to give me reason to buy one. To buy what, an Xbox? That's fine. That's fine. I mean, again, that's a consumer statement. I got no issue with that. This is the first generation I've been gaming since you've had access to PlayStation and Xbox. Now I've had a generation where I never had a PlayStation. That was the PS3. But let me make this clear. I normally have had both. Normally. Or I've traded one in. Like I traded in my PS1 or my PS2 in like 12 games to get an Xbox. I traded in my Xbox to get a 360. I traded my 360 to get a PS4. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Traded my PS4. No, I traded my PS4 in once I got a PS4 Pro. The Pro came out. I kept it until I got my hands on a PS5. Since the PS5 came in, I sold my Pro. So even after I figured out I couldn't get the games to transfer over, I'm like, I'll just start over. It's not a big deal. So, let's see here. Who else is here? It still hit hard. I don't understand that. You're enjoying it? Yeah. I mean, Forspoken's not the best game I played, but I give it like that and Callisto Protocol. Those are new IPs. So just myself, and this is just what I do, and everybody's different. I give it a little bit of maneuverability, because if you go back and people who liked Uncharted 1, a lot of people didn't like Uncharted 1, but there was enough there to get us to Uncharted 2. And if people, but like nowadays, if Uncharted comes out, you people be like, no, and I don't like this, and I don't like this. I mean, that is a problem. You know, that is a problem. The new IP needs to have a little more wiggle room, a little more space to breathe. And that's all we can ask for. I just give it a little space to breathe. That's why I like the Quantum Break game. Again, new IP. I enjoyed it. That'd be another game if I get an Xbox, because again, Quantum Break is not on PlayStation. At least not yet. So, you know, maybe one day we'll get it. We don't have Sunset Overdrive. Again, that's Insomniac, I believe. Again, and Sony owns that license now. So, you prefer to keep consoles? Yeah, I never got a PS3. It was when they came out and said it was going to be what, was it $5.99 or something like that? And then you had the guy at Sony say people will go out and get a second job because the PlayStation is so good. Yeah, right. Yeah, that didn't work, did it? So, so Worldwide Studios said he platinum for smoking. Cool. Where did I sell them? At GameStop, which is going away. GameStop's going to go the way of the dodo bird. So, he said Quantum Cheeks was good. Well, I liked it, but I'm a sci-fi guy. So, and I've said that. I said, so sci-fi games, I'm going to give a little more of a wider berth. But yeah, people are right. It had some animation issues. You're right. People are right about that. So can't deny that they didn't get that done. So it is what it is. I said Quantum Cheeks was good. Still have your NES Master System. Wow. Mega Drive, N64, Dreamcast, PS1. Yeah, see, I don't wow, you got the GameCube and everything. Wow. Yeah, see, I never have physically bought a Nintendo system. My mom and dad bought me and my brother one back in the day. Like, but again, we were one out of four. One out of four homes in 1986. I think 1 out of 4 homes had a Nintendo system. I mean, that console single-handedly brought console gaming back into space. So wow. Somebody said for smoking is trash. It runs at 900p at some point. You're not spending $70 on that. Horizon looks that good, then developers need to spend more time. Well, once again, your Square Enix, as far as we know, isn't a first-party developer. It runs 900p. It runs dynamic resolution, so the low point is 900p. I'm pretty sure I told you all that dynamic resolution wasn't going anywhere. It also uses FSR 2.0, which is something that's the whole problem here with your statement, is that you want them to use new stuff. That's what they're doing, and you're still upset about it. You know, that's just, come on. You got to give them a chance to put the stuff out there. With that said, it's okay for you not to like something. Let me make that clear. So you don't want to pay $70 for it. That's fine. I don't know why people compare first-party studios to third-party studios, but, you know, that's what they do. GameCube was, yeah, I love GameCube. Like the whole Alan Wake control quantum. Yeah, see, I like it too. And if you play on PlayStation, you are missing out on the quantum break part of control. People are like, well, they like the way the stuff was in control. Play Quantum Break. Play Quantum Break, man. You talk about some crazy looking stuff. So you probably won't notice the drops when you're playing. You're talking about what on? Well, again, I didn't notice any drops yet, but I've got one of these super duper trooper TVs. So, you know, I've got the VRR and the HGIG game settings, and I've got all that. So, you know, and I understand that my TV, I'm in the top, 5% of TV owners in the friggin' world. So, and most people don't have OLEDs. Most don't have. So I'm talking about, it's what, maybe 18% have OLEDs. So should it be on PS Extra? It could be. It could be. Unless you do a digital foundry test. Well, again, yeah, and I don't have a I mean, I understand what people are saying, but once you get the magic down and you're seeing all the particle effects on the screen, for me personally, that blew me away. Now, I've said before, I wish they would have a little more of a tutorial with the magic, and maybe they do, and I just don't know where it is. So, but yeah, because you have main spells, and you have you know, you have main spells, and you have support spells to the main spell, and it's just like, so, so, you know, so, but yeah, but the game isn't bad, and you know, but again, you get like to not, if you don't like something, that's fine too. But if you're bitching about $70, you got bigger problems as far as I'm concerned. But that's just my opinion. That is my opinion. Yeah, and a lot of people mark dribble PI5. A lot of people don't realize that Alan Wake, Control, and the Quantum Break are all connected. They're all connected in some way. Didn't have these to point stuff out. No one would give a crap. Well, no, I think, look, I think frame rate drops is a big deal. I understand that. That can totally take you out of the game when you have bad latency issues and stuff like that. I think other stuff though, when you sit back proper viewing distance, 6 to 8 feet, you don't notice a whole lot of other stuff. So Atomic Heart, maybe. To me, it looks like a combination of Fallout. Is it me? Does it look like Fallout? Like, to me, it looks like Fallout in Russia. So I might try it. So, yeah, it's called an Atomic Cheeks. No, it's this. I might. Stalker 2, I'm definitely going to get. So, but I like that type of game. It may have a 4K rat on there. So I don't know when Stalker's coming out, but I'm looking forward to playing that game. People said it's like the same people who did Metro, and I liked Metro. I keep forgetting I have Metro here. I'm like, oh, that's right, I gotta finish Metro. A BioShock Fallout looks like a BioShock Infinite. Yeah, it does. I mean, so why not? I did like BioShock. BioShock Infinite is one of my favorite games ever. I couldn't believe the writing, the way the game was, the Elizabeth character. I thought she was the coolest companion ever. Well, yeah, either Elizabeth or Ellie are cool companions. So Stalker 2 is day one. Yeah, a lot of people are getting it. So, you know, I will be buying. Yeah, like I said, for me, yes, Stalker and Starfield, Forza, I'm looking forward to playing those games. So, I mean, you know, it's not the end of my world. This is more for me to play. Now, here's what sucks. I need to get some type of HDMI extension because I don't want to constantly be unplugging and plugging in, unplugging and plugging in HDMI stuff. So, you bought a 77-inch LG OLED for gaming. 4. Oh, you got 4 ports? I got 4 ports too, but I need more. Because one of our ports is for the eARC, right? One of your ports is an eARC port for your sound bars. So like I only have 3 HDMI ports. So I'm not telling you to backtrack PlayStation Ecstasy. So yeah, I'm definitely not telling anybody to backtrack. You know, you got to do you. You're a consumer first. So if that's your deal breaker, that's fine. I mean, it's not for me personally, but you know, I'd rather have I do 30 FPS if I'm doing ray tracing. So I'd rather have the ray tracing. Like when I played Callisto Protocol, I played it at the ray tracing mode. I didn't play it at 30. I didn't play it at 60. And it was a melee game, and I was just going to town on people. So the only time I really had to use my guns is at the end with that end boss. Everybody else, I was just beating the hell out of them with that stick and using that gravity gun. So, but yeah, I hope Stalker 2 does well. I hope Starfield does well. They may both stink for all we know, though, right? We don't know. Won't know until we get it, and won't get it. You know, when they say Stalker 2 is coming out on this date, I will try to commandeer an Xbox, I guess. If I can't get my Game Pass on PC to work, I will buy and support the game. So, I mean, physically, I will physically go and buy an Xbox game. So, and they'll look at me and say, well, that game's on Game Pass. Yeah, it is, but I want the physical. I'm a physical collector, so gotta pay the cost to be the boss. Speaking of being the boss, I do need to get on up here and go do my walk before the rain. Looks like it's gonna get cloudy out there. So, want to get to the ATM, ladies and gentlemen. ATM time. So, I appreciate you coming. Shout out to everybody here. Hit that like button. Thanks for the super chats. And I want to be back home. Oh, what the hell? I may stay in, wait for these people to get their VR. So kind of on standby. So shout out. Make sure you tune in to Lincoln Clay's unboxing on PSVR. He's got to send me a Discord invite. If you're still listening, Lincoln, make sure you, not unless you do it on StreamYard. That depends on how he does it. So have faith. You have more faith than Stalker 2 because Stalker 1 was cool. You don't know about Starfield. Yeah, that's fine too. That makes sense. It's okay to be like, yeah, don't know about Starfield. So that's fine too. So, all right then, guys, I'm going to get on off here. I'm going to jump off and rest. How about that? I'll just rest for the rest of the day. You all take it easy. I appreciate you coming by. And